got Jay Davis, Donnie Kelly, and got By District down there. Always a great time going into week 3. Games tend to get a little better. Looking at the schedule, I can't really say that, but typically around week 3, 4, week 5, we're starting to get some really good football games in our area. Jay, before we get started with all that, let's talk about our MVPs.
Sure. I guess I need to turn my phone down first. Coming out of offensive, this was pretty impressive. I was able to watch the second half of this stream, but Tredarian Bell or Tredarian Ball just
I was about to say
was absolutely incredible. 2 total touchdowns and over 200 yards total. Just very, very impactful, and he is helping open up that offense. Oh, sure. And you're going to have so many Texas High players touch the ball each and every week just because he's on the field.
T-Ball's the man. I don't know what to say.
That's all you can say.
It's fun to watch.
And then on the defensive side from New Boston, Casey Campbell coming in with 9 tackles, 2 interceptions, and actually had a defensive touchdown. So anytime you got the defensive side helping the offensive side, that's always going to come out well. But congratulations to both of those 2 for Game Day's MVPs of the week.
Hey, shout out to the England kid, QB for New Boston, threw for 4 touchdowns. And our defensive MVP also had like 170 receiving yards.
Mm. Oh, yeah. He was electric on both sides of the ball last week.
Yeah, well, it sounds like Hooks better stay up late.
Hey, well, it's no secret. I think people, who really follow football kind of undervalue New Boston coming into this season. But, I think they're going to be sneaky good,
I like the coaching staff.
They got a lot of talent.
I like the coaching staff over there. It's been a long time. I don't know if I've ever had like a personal relationship with the coaching staff in New Boston since we started. Matter of fact, I know we haven't. So it's kind of excited to see because they always have some athletes.
They do
over there. In the Rowden kid this year, and the fact that I just assumed that he was going to touch the ball 35 times a game, and that was going to be it. But statistics show something completely different.
I think when it comes down to it, though, I think he will, if need be.
I'd never heard of this team they played, so it's hard for me to gauge how good they are off statistics in a game like that. Atlanta coming to town this week, I think we'll find out what that offense looks like. I think maybe Donnie is probably right. That's kind of what I expected and kind of still expect because I just can't imagine you have a running back like that, and I don't remember what his statistics were, but him not touch the ball 70% of the time.
Well, and you've still got coaches that are holding back as far as their total playbook and, not wanting to put a lot out there for, their district opponents. So, I still think that there's some gamesmanship by some of our teams that are out there, even this early in the season.
Make no mistake, because I've seen him play in person. He's a dude. And if they need him to tote the rock and grind the game out, it can happen that way.
Well, before we get into our PG Paris game, I think I'm going to start bringing y'all I know we had a lot of bad news yesterday, but some random news. I don't believe we landed on the moon. I don't know. I ain't trying to make all our boomer viewers mad, but there's just too much proof that we didn't. I always kind of thought we didn't, but now I know the same people that told us don't believe everything you read on the internet. Believe. I saw it. We landed on the moon. We did not land on the moon.
So I'm just the opposite of it. So I used to believe that we did, because that's what they told you in school when you was a kid, But now all the stuff that you see now makes you really say, come on now.
Hey, so we
really?
landed on the moon in whatever year, but we ain't been back since. We ain't been back since, and we can't go back because they had better technology. And then I have a dude one of them dudes on YouTube told a kid, we had less technology than you have in your iPhone. And the kid goes, well, why can't we go back to the moon? And he said, because we have better technology. Like, what? Anyway, besides all that, let me tell you where we for sure are, and that is on Mars. And there's no other explanation than we have found life on Mars. Ancient life on Mars, basically. Like, there's no other explanation than they found life on Mars. Not current life, but ancient life. Anyway, I can't name all the planets or anything, but I get down with the whatever's up there.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, Everybody believes the government. They definitely bamboozles us on that. All right, so let's switch it up. Jay, do you think we land on the moon?
I think so, and JFK would not lie.
That's Super Cat. Lied about a lot of things. Thinking about somebody in particular.
Happy birthday.
Anyways, PG versus Paris last week. I was kind of expecting a closer game.
I was expecting a closer game, but I also expected a high-scoring game from both sides. And for me, I was wanting to see some sustained drives by the Pleasant Grove offense, and I still want to. That's what I want to see this week. But I definitely saw a great athlete in the Paris quarterback, Heath. And he's the real deal. He's going to be able to lead them to a lot of wins this season. But I think it was just the depth that got to Paris, and that defense for Pleasant Grove just stands up one more week.
Is good. What that's kind of sticking out to me is they got to get their passing game worked out. I mean, 53 total plays, 41 rushing.
Oh, that's what PG did.
Yeah, like that tells me a lot. Now there were some drops, but they gotta get comfortable quick.
They got Dangerfield this week. So.
Yeah, so they play tonight, 7 p.m. You can watch it here on Game Day against Dangerfield. Dangerfield is in one of their down years, I would have to say.
Yes.
So this will be a big statistics night for these kids, I would assume tonight. But next week, Kilgore comes to town. Seen them play in person. Kilgore is a real deal. Big offensive line, big defensive line. Every linebacker looks like they're 6 foot and above. Defensive backs can play. It's going to be interesting to see what that looks like for the Hawks. They took them into double overtime last year, and I remember thinking like, oh, this is going to get out of hand because they were coming off that Paris thing, and they played Kilgore really well. They got it figured out that week. It's going to be interesting to see, can they have that same, I don't want to use the word turnaround, but can they match that level of play? Because Kilgore's an elite team in 4A Division I.
Well, the one thing that I hope that occurs tonight is that they're not focused on Kilgore.
I don't think it matters tonight.
I don't think it does either.
I really don't. I mean, they're playing down and a struggling team that's down. They are the number 2 ranked team in 4A Division II. I just don't. I don't see a scenario where this is close. And I would love to see a good football game tonight. So I'm just not expecting it.
Offensively, I've got to see some sustained drives tonight.
Yes.
So I agree with you on that. I don't think it's going to be a great ball game. Dangerfield has started out just like they did last year. And Frank's still in bed, or he'd be on here commenting right now. But
Frank got to know what's up by now.
Yeah, so for sure he knows that. But, Dangerfield started out the same way last year. The same, pretty much they're following the same thing. They do have some good athletes over there. They got, for some reason, they do play a pretty rough schedule to start with.
I think it's the Dangerfield name. Nobody wants to put Dangerfield on the schedule. Against like opponents, Dangerfield's going to be fine. But, I mean, the fact they lost to Tatum, lost to Gladewater, I would bet everything Pleasant Grove beats both of them pretty bad.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, I don't know if this is a game we ever see again because I just don't know what the benefit would be to Dangerfield now that they know, even last year when they were good, like, hey, it's just tough to compete with an opponent, a 4A Division II opponent like this. But, Liberty Islo's running the same problem as Dangerfield. They can't get people to schedule them. I'm sure they want to play a Redwater, a Hooks, a New Boston, a DeKalb. It'd be a lot easier for them as far as travel goes, but, I'm sure they don't want to play Liberty Islo. Or they're not seeing a benefit in playing Liberty Islo.
Right.
So they're having to play up. I mean, their preseason schedule, you look at it just like it is. Okay, so Henderson's always going to be a good team. Pittsburgh, while they've been not great in the past, they have like 200 more kids in their high school than Liberty Islo does. And I'm just not saying that number exactly, but it's quite a bit more. And then they're going to play Carthage. And I can't remember exactly who they have after Carthage.
Is it Rusk?
I believe Rusk is a 4A team as well. Could be mistaken, but I'm pretty sure they are. And then they go into district and they'll be fine. It's just getting there. It's tough. And it's just the name. Like when you think of Liberty Allo, if I'm a random coach from wherever, probably going to pass on that. Especially most of these coaches, they can get games. It's got to be tough, I would think, for Dangerfield Liberty Allo.
Oh yeah, for sure. And speaking of Pitt, though, they're 2-0 right off the bat.
The confidence is there.
They exposed old DeKalb last week. DeKalb was talking all that mess all week that they had. Oh, Pitt ain't nothing. Just watching all the chats and all that, and then they come in there and put that spanking on them. So
DeKalb's 3A Division II, right?
Mm-hmm.
Same district.
Okay, so they're playing 2 divisions up. Put that in perspective, for Pittsburgh. Like, not 1 division. That would be 3A Division I. They're playing 2 divisions up. I just can't give Pittsburgh their props on that.
DeKalb beat them last year. So what I'm saying is, DeKalb last year their team was, they had a stellar season last year, and they did beat Pittsburgh. And then the chats and all that. With who they have coming back, Pittsburgh can't play with them.
And I'm just talking about their confidence. That's they are playing some smaller schools. I mean, the confidence is there, and that's something that I don't think that they've been able to conjure up the past couple of seasons this early in the season.
But how can you give any team that's 2 divisions, 3 divisions above another school and it beat up on them?
Yeah,
you're supposed to. You don't get no brownie points for that.
This wasn't a rule, but I thought it was like a known agreement in Texas.
Can't be more than 2 divisions away from each other.
Like,
so they're 4A Division 2, they're 3A.
Yeah,
so they have to be within
you can
that.
play a division up or division down.
Right.
But playing 2 tells me this Pittsburgh coach, if he even made this schedule, he might not have even made it. This might have been from Abram.
It is. He's feeding because this is the second year.
So, that's the thing. DeKalb will play him, but I just don't see a benefit for DeKalb to play him.
DeKalb's got Jefferson this week.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's definitely going to be another
so
exposure.
it's, I don't know. And DeKalb is kind of up there where, it's going to be hard for them to find games unless they can go into Paris in that area and find games. So, they may have to play a Pittsburgh. But, hey, Paul Norton's watching. What's up? Mr. Norton? Who's living back up here now is what I heard.
Working for State Bank.
Is he really?
Yeah, he is.
Let's go. I love some State Bank. Pittsburgh's going to have to beat somebody that.
Hey, speaking of State Bank, they got some cool commercials, and their commercials look legit. But when you go from the live football game and it switches to that State Bank commercial, the volume level is like, what? Have y'all ever noticed that? How loud it goes from? When you're listening to Jay and them talk, or Billy, and when it switches to that commercial, the volume just goes out the roof. It's crazy.
Have to look into that.
It's so you can hear it from the fridge.
You sure can. If you walk off from the TV, it's a State Bank commercial for sure.
I'll try and fix that. Sorry.
When he says try, he means he'll forget. Trust me, I know what that means by this point. But, either way, Pittsburgh's going to have to beat somebody legitimate to their size.
And they're in the same district as Liberty Allo.
No, they're in the
They're
same
not?
district as Pleasant Grove.
Yeah.
Oh, Pleasant Grove, that's right.
Yeah.
But that's no different than what PG's doing tonight. You beating up on Dangerfield doesn't necessarily get no brownie points. You're supposed to.
I get it. When I first saw that game last year, here's the thing. You can get away with it because it's Dangerfield. Everybody knows that name, But people that follow it, like Pleasant Grove could not get anybody to play them that week. And so Dangerfield would, so.
Well, do you know anything about Tyler Grace Community? Because, that's who Pittsburgh plays this week. And Dave Campbell is only giving them a 2-point.
I think if I'm not
favorite.
mistaken, I picked Redwater over them. Is that right?
No, they played them the first week.
They played them. All right, so I did. I thought Redwater was going to beat them, and I was wrong. So I guess Pittsburgh, hell, I don't know. They scored like 70 points. They might be good. Whenever I think of Tyler Grace Community, I do not think of – that's like a private school.
It is.
Right?
It is.
In Tyler? Yeah, that's the exact one I'm thinking of. And unless they just have some generational group coming through. Did they win last week?
I don't know. I'd have to look. I can look real quick.
All right, let me know. But yeah, Pittsburgh. Well, they got them a cupcake schedule, didn't they? Outside of Liberty Ilo, which I still think Liberty Ilo gave them that game versus Pittsburgh winning it.
With all the mistakes.
Yeah, I
yeah,
mean,
they fumbled the ball 5 times, fumbled it away 5 times.
I guess Frank Side's watching. He was like, if I was up there, we wouldn't have those problems. He's probably right. Matter of fact, I know he's right. Anyway, let's switch it over to Texas High. Man, Cam Reitner, 10 touchdowns in 2 weeks.
I know. So, Billy, they all got these nicknames for him, the Swiss Army knife. I mean, he can do anything and everything. He throw the ball, run the ball. Cam can do – he can kill you at any time. I mean, he's fun to watch too.
Well, they're scoring 53 points a game, and that's healthy.
Yeah. Oh. Well, that's I go back and watch that game and between T-Ball, Shavante, Ahmad, I mean, there's just so many things that they can do. You don't know if they're going to score on the next play. It's quick.
I'm feeling like Oklahoma 2007-ish could be off a couple years either way. They score so quick that your defense is going to give up points. Okay?
Well, because the defense spends a lot of time on the field.
But, man, dude, it's tough when 3 of their 4 leading tacklers are defensive backs. But you look at their front 7, and it's like they're super legit. They're not coming up and making running tackles.
Right.
They're having a bunch of passes completed on them. And they ain't played a true passing team. I guess Liberty Christian might be considered one, but they run into somebody who's legitimate, like a South Oak Cliff this year, which, by the way, one of the best football games in the state last week against Duncanville. Ended up losing 35-28, but Duncanville always a 1 or 2 team in the state of Texas, in my opinion. So the fact that South Oak Cliff's competing with Duncanville, 2 divisions down, because they're 5A Division 2.
Yes, the same as Texas.
Is Duncanville's big 6A.
Yes.
So really 3 divisions. And I don't know who's going to win state in 6A, but the fact that North Shore's down makes me think Duncanville's going to win it. Could be wrong. But they're never bad. And South Oak Cliff is legitimate. Let's just say they played them in the 4th round. I'm not saying South Oak Cliff can stop them either, but, man, they got to get this together.
I mean, you're going to get a kind of, I guess, a gaze on how good the secondary needs to be fixed next week.
Yeah.
When Fayetteville comes down.
I wasn't at that game last year, but that was like the game.
Oh, I watched it, and I'm gonna tell you that game was nerve-wracking. I mean, how it I think it was on one of y'all's. I don't remember who said it, but it may have been Coach Harrell. You've seen the cars leaving the parking lot, and then somebody scores, and then you see the brake lights, and they park, and they're coming back in the stadium. That it just went back and forth, and it was a wild game.
Donnie, Cam, what does he have so far this year? I think he has, 7?
8 touchdowns.
8 passing TDs, 2 rushing. I was talking last night, so we started off game day, Ryan Sellers at QB, then Brayson McHenry, then David J. Now we're at Cam Reitner. And it's obvious they have some sort of program over there that's developing quarterbacks, but I don't think we've seen one this versatile.
No, I think like the closest one. I would say this before the Reese kid got hurt. He was very much doing that. That was the year David J was a sophomore. Reese got hurt.
Yeah, it was second week in Louisiana. I didn't mean to leave him out. I'm sorry about that.
He was just as gifted as far as athletic wise than Cam. And we very well could have saw what he was going to do, same with what Cam is doing now, up until he got hurt. Ryan Sellers was the same. He was an athlete playing quarterback. I think the system does. It's designed to have somebody that can do multiple things. I think it suits the offense better. I think you maybe have to dummy it down when you're not as athletic. David J last year had phenomenal numbers, but the offense had to get dummied down because he just wasn't an athlete. To do the RPOs, such nature stuff like that. You knew if he was going to put a ball in somebody's stomach, more likely he was going to give it. Cam, not so much.
Yeah, that's true. That's a fair point. I haven't seen Cam play in person yet. I would have to assume David J. Brayson would be the better passers, but what I'm seeing here, I didn't know Cam could ball like this.
Man, I think a lot of times it benefits quarterbacks to play baseball. He's this however long he's been born, he's been playing baseball, so he has the arm. I think a lot of people didn't realize how accurate he was going to be.
I did.
And he's putting on the show right now.
Yeah, he's doing his thing. I'm excited for Cam. He's also committed to Texas A&M Texarkana for baseball.
Mm-hmm.
Playing with Brewster. Well, we got to talk about my Lobos. Update on Coach King, doing a lot better. He's actually at home, which I don't think was expected to be at home by now. So cancer didn't spread as much as they thought. So hopefully maybe we'll see him on the sideline again this season. Love me some Coach King. But they're going to South Oak Cliff tonight. Not tonight, tomorrow night. We'll have that for you on Game Day's YouTube page and Longview Game Day. But, man, South Oak Cliff looks nasty. South Oak Cliff looks nasty. I don't know. It's going to be a good measuring stick, I think, for Longview. I don't think Longview – well, I know Longview can't win in a shootout against them. Longview has the right side of their offensive line is all new. Longview reloads, but South Oak Cliff reloads better, I guess.
Kind of like you said, it's going to be a good look for Longview, but I think the state of Texas has a good idea what the Mecca looks like.
Yeah. I mean, I have nothing but respect for them, their brand. Longview lost to them 35-34 last year at home. Great football game. I want Longview to win. I'm a Longview dude. But, man, South Oak, if we kept records up here, I can't pick South Oak Cliff. I can't pick Longview against South Oak Cliff.
Yeah, and what you just said, their brand or whatever, you can go on YouTube and watch different videos that other people make and all that stuff. And that athletic director over there and his coaching staff together and the community have built that atmosphere that they got. And if you've ever watched how they travel, how the community's involved, that has drawn kids to come to the program, stay in the program instead of moving around or not being involved. And it's built this huge thing that we're seeing now.
That's not a brand, my opinion. That's not a brand in Texas football that's bigger than the Mecca.
See, that's the thing. Like, I feel like Duncanville's bigger because now we know it's not my opinion. They've been sanctioned many times for cheating. Just not in football.
Basketball, too.
It's been in basketball, boys and girls basketball. Like, they care about winning. In my opinion, when I think Texas high school football, like, right off the bat, I'm thinking about Duncanville. If we're going historic, like if you were to go around the country and, hey, name a Texas high school football team, they're probably going to say, isn't there a team in Midland, something like that, because of the movie thing and all that. But I think of Duncanville, South Oak Cliff's definitely somewhere in the second to fourth number for me. But I can see why South Oak Cliff would be one.
I'll tell you what got me. You can go watch their homecoming parade. Go watch that homecoming parade. And that'll tell you, like, how big their this support and how people are bought into this. And it's, it's huge. It was wild.
Well, speaking of travel, so we were talking about it. I'm going to be like, I wonder if Fayetteville is going to travel down here, like Texarkana traveled there. Probably not. Maybe.
I don't know. I can't answer that one.
Yeah, because I don't necessarily know enough about them to know about their fan base.
I know that it was packed from what it looked like on camera last year. Because I'm assuming we were on the visitor side because the other side was their colors. So it was packed. Anyways, what else we got before we go into area games? That's it.
So are you picking South Oak Cliff?
I mean, I just
How could he not?
I want Longview to win.
How could you not pick them
Right.
after they just had
Yeah.
the showing that they did get Duncanville last year? Longview's no Duncanville.
Yeah, I just if they very well could have beat Duncanville. They went to North Shore week 1 and knocked off North Shore. I just don't. I mean, I think 5A Division 1, barring something crazy, I don't know how South Oak Cliff doesn't run away with it.
No, they're Division 2.
Well,
Or that's
historically,
true. Yeah,
yeah.
5A Division 2. So, dude, they were playing three levels up against the state's #1 team and lost by 7 in a game they could have won.
well, historically, last year was the first time that South Oak Cliff beat the Lobos. But this is the first time the Lobos have ever had to go there and play. They're playing with under interim coach, which they're probably going to get up for him. But
They have, and they carry the hat and all that stuff. That was a pretty cool video.
But I'll be interested to see how the first quarter is, because if the first quarter is strong for the Lobos and that can quiet down the home fans, that's how I think the Lobos have a chance to be able to pull this out, is if they can have a strong first quarter.
That's like saying Dangerfield has a chance to beat PG.
Keaton Daniels just texted me. and
They may.
He's he's Longview Mr. Game Day. All right, like everybody knows Keaton, good dude. He said Duncanville let off the gas and North Shore isn't as good this year. Keep in mind he's a homer. We'll see. The first quarter of that game will tell a lot. Like if they come out and all right, we're gonna run the ball, we're gonna run traps, we're gonna run dives, and like that'll tell me okay, they're trying to shorten this game up. Because man, South Oak Cliff just looks nasty. I mean, even if North Shore is down, even if Duncanville, I don't know how you let off the gas and win by 7.
I don't either.
But even if North Shore is down, they're 3 divisions up.
And North Shore still is North Shore.
Yeah, like
That's not act like the talent is not there still.
and I know South Oak Cliff goes out and they get kids, and I mean it's just a known thing in Texas. Like nobody's hating; it's a known thing. But still, like they're just nasty. I don't. I want Longview to win, Keaton. Like if I've ever wanted a team to win, I want Longview to beat South Oak Cliff. That would be huge in the Longview community. They would be talking shit forever.
Well, South Oak Cliff is not Marshall, but I mean Marshall only had 3 possessions the entire second half. So I mean, if the Lobos can get up, I mean it looks like they've got the offense that can just eat that clock.
Speaking of Marshall, they got a tight end that I didn't realize he's ranked pretty high. And he looks legit. Can't think of his name off the top of my head, but
No, he's pretty good.
yeah.
Yeah.
Keaton said he watched the Duncanville game with Coach King in the hospital, so he would know. I guess I didn't watch it like that, but hopefully we get a South Oak Cliff game day next year. That'd be legit. Who's Oak Scout this week?
We're off this week.
Off.
Yeah, it's the way our bye fell. I mean, that's just one of them.
You know, you've been saying for 3 years now that you have to play 10 games. The UIL requires you to play 10 games. You know that's not true. You made that up. I went and looked. You made it up for sure. Carthage has played 8 games. 2 years ago, they played 9 games this year and last year.
I don't know if I said that.
Yeah, you
but
did. You were like, no, we scheduled this private school, and oh no, the UIL says we have to play this many games.
So
We had to find somebody. You were making excuses,
No,
and now I
so-
know you lied
I know
to
what you're
us.
talking about now, 'cause I remember that conversation. So I asked the same question. Why did that happen? Well, I was told that you had to play the UIL required you to play a certain amount of games. So when the person that told it to me, I ain't gonna say who it was, but I was like, oh, okay, must be true.
If that's the case, we need to go take some of Carthage state championships back. Probably 4 of them.
Right.
Anyway, Newton is going to be at Tatum.
So hold on. You're telling me they only played 8 games before going to the playoffs?
Mhm.
So like,
3 years ago.
so I mean, what did they
I'm-
start 3 weeks late?
No, they played a week 1. They typically will take off week 2 or 3, and they'll take off week before district. Nobody would play them that year.
Right.
See, I think they actually had 2 weeks off in a row that year, if I'm not mistaken. Now, out of Hooks' district, the way that I sort of looked at it, Hugh Springs might be the only team in the entire district that wins their game this week.
Give me who's playing.
So you've got Redwater playing Pewitt. You've got DeKalb playing
Hold on,
Jefferson.
Is Pewitt good this year?
Well, they're gonna be better than Redwater.
Yeah.
Redwater's 0-2. New Boston plays
I was
Atlanta.
just really surprised. I'm really surprised Redwater starting the year 0-2 after watching like the guys that have been out in the summer, and like I'm not someone that feels like 7-on-7 has anything to do with real football. I'm not that dude. But I remember thinking like, man, they had some good looking kids out here, and I don't know why it hasn't translated just yet.
Tyson Jones from Paul Pewitt. He's their senior. He's their dude this year. The first 2 games this season, he's kind of showed out. I ain't gonna say kind of. He has showed out. So I look for him to put it on Redwater this week. I mean, he's a good athlete.
I hope they get it together. I want Redwater to beat Pewitt, but Jay seems to think they can't.
I seen them in Paul Pewitt in a scrimmage. They can't.
Is Pewitt back to
So
being Pewitt again?
Well, of course they run that same offense that 1987 veer
Yeah.
wing sets at the corner and all that stuff. Whatever. They do have some size. I mean, they got some linemen that are big and can make a push. I mean, and at the level they're playing in at 2A, they're very. I think they could possibly make a good run in the playoffs. But they're just their size that I've seen in the scrimmage, and then some of their athletic ability from some of their skill positions.
I don't care about none of that.
Yeah,
I'm taking Redwater because Donovan told me they were going to win. He's a graduate. I believe it. Some point, what I saw this summer is going to translate to the football field.
Just because of 7-on-7?
Yeah, because you coach 7-on-7. You told me it's legit football.
It is legit football to a certain extent. It doesn't always translate to the tackle.
Listen, they're going to win. Don't worry about something else. Hooks, Winsboro?
that's next week.
next week.
Next week. Hooks is off. That's right.
Yeah.
We're off.
Y'all going to beat Winsboro?
You're not gonna get me on camera saying that.
Who did
Of course,
Winsboro
I
play
love
last
the Hornets.
week?
Of course, I love the Hornets. Don't get me wrong.
Who did Winsboro beat last week?
Redwater. It was 77 to.
Redwater played Winsboro?
Yes.
Yeah.
Get them off the
Actually, they
schedule.
did not. It was.
Thank you. See, I always try to hate on Redwater.
No, I'm just saying they didn't play. They showed up, but they didn't play.
Y'all are doing too much. All right.
I mean, and so I'll say this.
I got 28-21 Redwater.
Okay.
You can't say nothing. You don't even play this week.
I know. So I'm gonna be quiet.
This is what I've learned about Buddy. He really knows nothing about what's going on except for Hooks. He'd tell you anything you want to know about Hooks. Anything about anything else, it's really just an opinion that has no merit.
Right. So everybody's entitled to their own opinion.
Redwater could be playing anybody. He's not there. It is not in his DNA to say Redwater's going to win. And I don't understand what the problem is. Like y'all beat him when you were in school. Let it slide now. When I was in school, we hated Gladewater and White Oak. Like I don't hate them now.
The only good thing he said about Redwater was the food, the concession stand.
Let me tell you something. That Band Boosters, hey, if you've ever played at Redwater, that Band Boosters, they do the visitors concession stand. And I don't know who the fella is over there, but man, that dude, Philly cheesesteak sandwiches. I mean,
Man,
it's
y'all
like
need-
going to a carnival,
Y'all
man.
need to put some germs in Buddies or something. something bad.
Is Hooks and Redwater rivals or something?
Yes.
So Morgan,
yes.
no.
Yes.
Let's stop. Let's
Hooks
pause.
and Redwater. That is a rivalry
Hey,
game every time they play.
If you can mute Morgan real
Every
quick, I can tell
time.
how this came about. So like 3 years ago, Morgan and Game Day, I don't know how it happened, developed this so-called rivalry, and Redwater ran with it. Like, oh yes,
We
that's.
had it when I was in school.
Buddy,
I don't even know what you're talking
you
about.
care
Donna.
too much about that game for it not to be a rivalry game.
Well, here's the deal.
It's a rivalry game.
Morgan pumped
He,
it up.
he knows exactly when the last time Redwater beat Hooks was. That sounds like a rivalry game to me. I know the last time Marshall beat Longview. That's a rivalry game. This is the same thing. It doesn't matter if y'all dominated the rivalry game. It's a rivalry game.
We've never rivaled with Redwater.
Yes, I know y'all have because the amount of points y'all put up on them.
That's just
Y'all play a random school, y'all are going to score 45, 48 points. But because it's Redwater, let's see how much we can put up. Come on, you ain't fooling nobody. This is a
Well-
rivalry game. There is some dislike there from both sides.
You're pushing me because I can't.
I'm just telling you,
say some of the
it's
stuff
going
I
to be
want to say on
Redwater's
this-
time
on-
soon,
on
and
this
when it
show.
is, I got it on good authority. They're going to get their get back and pay it back
When?
whenever their time comes.
It dang sure
It's
ain't
going
happening
to come.
this year.
It's going to come, buddy. It always comes.
Well, I mean, hey, it may do it. Hey, they won in 20. I think the last time Redwater beat us was in 2017.
That's the point. The fact that he knows that's a rivalry game. That's a rivalry game.
All right, moving on. So the next game we was talking about.
When's the last time? What's the percentage between Hooks and Atlanta?
Oh, you talking about last week's game?
No, just in general over the last 25 years. Do you know?
I don't know that.
Yeah, because it's not a rivalry game. That's the point.
Yeah.
I guess you did make a point.
It's just been back and forth, I mean,
Hell no. All right. I'm 250 miles out. I need to get this thing down. Within 40 miles this week. Atlanta, New Boston. I really wanted to stream that game. We just don't have the personnel to do it. I feel like that's going to be a good football game. I feel like a lot of people would watch that too.
I think it'll be a hard-fought game. Both sides. You're really going to get to, like I was telling you, you're going to see Rowden get to grind the ball this week. You're going to see Atlanta trying to get Mitchell in the game, use CJ as much as they can.
Tell me about CJ. He's a freshman.
He's a
Sophomore. His dad played professional football?
Yeah.
And he
Who
played.
is his dad?
So I call him Coach Whaley because he coached the youth basketball team this year, and so I got to see him and talk to him quite a bit. Man, he's a great coach, man. We were trying to. I would love for him to come to Hooks, not just because it's because Regan and CJ over there, but Coach Whaley.
All right, let's just stop this before you get
No,
everybody in trouble.
but I'm just saying, Coach Whaley is a good dude.
What position did Coach Whaley play?
I think he played. Somebody told me he played defensive tackle. I didn't really talk to him about football, but he's huge.
He's a big dude.
His son can ball.
CJ is a tremendous athlete. Yes.
I would imagine he's going to be able to go wherever he wants to when the time comes.
And I'll say this, from what I watched the other night, and not taking anything away from him on the offensive side of the ball, I thought as a defensive end, man, he held that well.
Hey, if he, you know who he looks like? He looks like Landon.
Well,
Back in the day, like he has that same frame. If he's able to put on weight like that, dude.
I mean, his
At any
stature-
level in football, he would be able to play. But at that specific level, dude, he's gone. You will not. You just got like he's going to shut down that entire side of the field
and
come senior year.
I'm going to tell you another thing, too. So, two things I picked up out of that game. CJ, his defensive ability at the defensive end. Now, this kid's from Hooks. His name's Trenton Haynes, and he's a sophomore this year. He's always kind of been big for his grade, but, he's 6'4", probably weighs 180 pounds. He has really come out of the box as a defensive end. And, I seen, them glimpses of, a Landon or something. He's a big just like what you're talking about, putting weight on the frame and all that stuff. He's gonna really shine.
Now you say he's 280.
No, I said he weighed 100. I think what I say 180.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I didn't say 280.
Oh, okay.
I mean, he looks like he may be a wide receiver or tight end in college, depending on how he puts on weight. We looked at Prevo. He's the same size he was when he was in 8th grade. I don't know if he put on much weight, but if Whaley continues to put on weight, he's going to end up. It's hard to say he's going to be like the biggest recruit we've had in a while because we have had we have a huge list to go through right here. But if he keeps doing what he's doing, he's going to be on that list. Jay, give me another game.
Let's see. You've got Ashdown versus Hope. Both these teams are giving up 43 points a game.
I want to go into Arkansas.
They're both 0-1. So somebody's going to get a win.
That ain't what I meant, Jay.
I'm picking Hope. So
Ben.
all right. So here's the game. You got the Battle of the Bridge is back. So you've got Genoa and Falk.
What do you mean it's back? Why did it go away?
Well,
Genoa went to
they
8-man
went to 8-man
football.
for a little bit.
Oh, they did do away with
Yeah.
it. That's a true rivalry game, like that Redwater Hooks game.
They're both coming in with perfect seasons. So this is going to be a big game between the two. I think Falk's probably going to be the one with the edge here. It's going to be for me. It's tough getting back into that 11-man because Genoa's always been they've always had the smallest sideline, so their depth is not going to be there where Fouts will be.
And one thing I know, Ben would be proud that Jay brought up some Arkansas football. But one thing, if you ever like look at any of the social media from like Murfreesboro or not Nashville, but Mineral Springs, I guess, and their football stadiums are so little, or so small.
Listen, I get asked all the time, like, what's it going to take to get game day to come into Arkansas? I was like, as a state, y'all got to do better. As an entire state, y'all got to do better.
But like, there's people people
that
sitting in the end zone in lawn chairs because there's like no bleacher space. You know what I mean? And it's like in the middle of the woods.
There's nowhere to do what we do, unless we're going to sit in the stands. And even if we do, the chances of some of these places, I would say 90% in Arkansas, outside of Little Rock area, having wired internet available would be. I mean, for instance, Dangerfield is a 3A Division II school. They're like the bottom half of size in Texas. They're accommodating.
And
I feel like if we went to, give me a random school in Arkansas.
The Sand Lizards of Dardanelle.
I don't know what that is, but I doubt they have
They're playing Nashville
anything
this
we
week.
need to do what we're supposed to do. But since we're in Arkansas, who's the Arkansas High got this week?
El Dorado.
Yeah.
El Dorado. Where's that? I feel like I've seen it before. Is that near Magnolia?
South Arkansas, they're fixing to have some NIL money with that lithium mines.
Oh, yeah. Are they going to spend it on that, though? Do they
I
care
don't know.
enough?
I don't know. We'll see.
So with that school district as a whole is dope for what they do for the kids. That if you're there from K through 12, they pay for your college. Any school you want to go to, they pay for it.
Really?
Yes.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Let me tell you what Arkansas is beating Texas at right now. And it's like the only thing I can give them their props on is this NIL for high school. And while you may be like, oh, this is stupid, I can't believe they're letting them do this, what's the benefit? There is a big benefit to the state of Arkansas for their NIL thing because they can keep Arkansas kids, in Arkansas. Whether it's University of Arkansas or Arkansas State or UCA, one of the main requirements is you have to be accepted. You can only do it as a senior, if I remember right, but you have to be accepted to an Arkansas university to be eligible for NIL in high school. And if you're already accepted to one of them colleges, chances are you're probably going there.
Mm-hmm.
So that was really smart on their part. Now, I don't like what University of Arkansas is doing to make it work for them by bringing in kids from other states and doing all that. And they're going to deny they're doing that. But who do you know that cares about high school football enough to pay out $200,000 to a kid?
Yeah.
I don't know anybody. But I know some colleges that will.
Mm.
So, not accusing, just saying they did it.
well, I mean, they're going to protect their recruited asset if they bring them from out of state.
Well, I mean, I get it. And I'm not saying other colleges don't cheat the system. It's just, dude, if you're going to do it, own it. You know what I mean? Don't hide behind some rule that, you know what I mean? It's just, I'm just one of the people, what's right is right, what's wrong is wrong. I can admit when I'm wrong. Done it a lot. I'm wrong a lot. But I'll always admit when I'm wrong. And I hate working with people that can't admit when they're wrong because, in my opinion, you can't get better if you don't admit when you're wrong. University of Arkansas, they may be in a position where they just can't admit guilt. Okay? Say that. You know what I mean? Like, tell me, oh, next question. That tells me my answer.
So are we gonna bash the Razorbacks with Billy gone this week?
Billy can't, there's nothing Billy could say right now to make this situation better because Billy knows what happened.
Billy's at Magic Kingdom, or he was.
Magic Kingdom, he needs to go at night. If you're going to Disney World, go at night to Magic Kingdom, Billy. It is magical, it's cool. But Animal Kingdom, go first thing in the morning when the animals are most active. What are the other ones? I've been to all of them.
Billy's evening's been magical all weekend. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
Glenn Austin said Hope Carthage hangs 150 piece on Liberty Island. That's just doing too much, Glenn. Why would you wish that on anybody?
I mean, it's gonna basically happen just by them showing up, though.
Well, listen, here's what we know about Surratt. He respects Liberty Island for playing him. He knows what's up. Willard knows what's up. There is such thing as gentlemen's agreements and coaching things. Like, he might give him his first 5 plays.
Hey, listen, we've had this conversation. when the score, of course, you're going to start your starters and let them play, and they're going to score. Well, then you put in your twos.
My number's 42 points.
So
I
here's the
said
deal.
45 last week. 42
You
is when you
can't-
call off the dogs.
But and this is where people start, saying people are not classy and all this BS. But when you put that third string kid in that gets his playing time and
Okay.
he runs for a touchdown,
Yeah.
you can't tell that kid
Listen.
that's going to be his only time to play for the season.
Do y'all remember 2 years ago, Carthage played at Texas High in a playoff game? Cannot remember who they played, but do y'all remember that?
Yeah.
Okay. They're up a god-awful amount of points.
Mm-hmm.
They're on like the 7-yard line. There's less than 10 seconds left, something like that. They throw the ball for a touchdown. That's a little hard for me to defend.
So was it the starting quarterback throwing to it like a?
No,
It doesn't matter.
Actually, it was Surratt's son when he was a pup.
Okay, see,
But you're throwing the ball. Game is not in doubt. Listen, college, get on that ass. NFL, beat them as bad as you can. But listen, man, we're talking about high school. I'm not saying like, hey, you got to learn to lose, and everybody's taking an L that they're not proud. I once played in a basketball game. We got beat by 100 points, not 99, not 101. We literally got beat by 100 points. We were freshmen. You remember Houston Hoops AAU teams? They had like 20 teams. We're in 8th grade going to 9th grade. I played against Omika Ekafor, and what's the dude that went to Texas and then went to Milwaukee, the point guard? I always forget his name. Dude, oh my God. Good ball. What's that dude's name? Played at University of Texas, got drafted like in the top 10 to Milwaukee, got injured in the motorcycle accident. Somebody's going to put it in here.
TJ Ford?
TJ Ford. All right, and like those dudes could ball, but they had a bunch of dudes just like them. We were literal like 14-year-old kids playing against dudes who in 2 years were going to be in the NBA. Like, hey, your boy did have 10 points in that game. I want to let y'all know that they were not trying to come out and guard me. It was the first and only time I've ever been dunked on. And I remember it like it was yesterday.
and you said only time?
First and only.
Hey, well, since you was a LE fan, how do you feel about that game?
I think if I'm an LA fan, I'm going there to get better. And I mean, with this pre-district season, it's tough. You're probably going into district 0-4.
No, but I asked you. I said not if you were. Ain't you a LE fan?
I am at times.
Oh, okay.
He's gonna be running for mayor at some point. I got some clips.
I want
got
Liberty
some
Allo
clips
to
I've
win.
been saving to be like, hey, listen, man.
So I'm a strange
Hook your boy up.
I'm a strange fan. I want Arkansas to win every game but 2, and that's when Texas beats them in the regular season and anytime in the playoffs. And the same thing for Liberty Allo. And of course, now that they're in different districts, hey, for us to ever have an LE, PG, Texas High time in Dallas, hey, I'm all in.
Randomly, I didn't mean to get off Arkansas High, but 0-2. How is El Dorado?
If they don't play ball, it's simple. 0-3.
But
But the game-
they're
but
both
they
giving
play
up. They're both
close.
giving up 31 points a game. So I mean, there's going to be some offense scored. There's going to be 75 points scored in this game.
Now, for Arkansas High last week game, it was going to be a little bit hard. That offense, I don't know if anybody in town could stop that offense. But now the week before, that was a game they should have won. So in theory, they should be 1-1 right now. Now, if you ask me, it's a toss up tomorrow night. Whatever version of Arkansas High that's going to show up, that's going to determine now who's going to win that game.
And it's at El Dorado, and that's the only reason why I'm going to give El Dorado the edge.
And so they got all the talent in the world. Believe it or not, they got just as much talent as anybody in the city, but they just got to put it together.
Random question: who pays for the college when they go to El Dorado K through 12?
There's I guess the Murphys, the gas that be at Walmart. Those particular people do.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Jay, when you gonna start paying for everybody's college?
I just paid for 2.
Everybody's though. Everybody. All right, let's switch it over to college football. Miami.
I knew you was going to say that right off the bat.
Why would you not?
They're playing
Well,
the best
they're-
team in Florida.
Yeah.
According to who?
People.
I mean, if that's the case. Mr. Le. Mr. Le, that means that's what we should start calling him, Mr. Le.
Texas is playing the second best team in Texas.
Which is,
Who does Texas have this week?
UTEP.
I mean, the number one
think-
team in Texas is A&M.
I think I don't.
Nah, don't do that.
I mean, the number
No,
one
don't-
team in
don't do
Texas
that.
is A&M.
Listen, man. Every time an A&M video pops up of these dudes doing whatever they're doing, I think they found out I've been making fun of them because they denied my credential for the first time ever. And like I've never had it denied at A&M, and so like I told like kids that go shoot for us, oh yeah, you'll be good. I've never had it denied, and yeah, they swiftly denied every game, like not one. They denied them.
You
all.
made fun of that yell later.
I mean, who doesn't? If you think that's cool, I don't even know what to say to you. Like we can't have an argument about anything because this goes back to you can't admit that you're wrong.
What happened?
The yell.
So
I mean,
the
have you seen some of these videos
so
of
they,
these guys?
so they got,
Man, there's
they
this
have
one
these-
specific
the
one.
student
that,
section has these what they call yell leaders, and they're
he knows. He's been to a game
You-
at A&M.
people have
Miami
said-
went to A&M and took it. No, y'all won that game.
No, we lost.
Y'all did lose. Y'all
Yeah.
losers.
but it's just some these kids just do some.
What you do in
funny
rivalry
stuff.
games, you beat the opposing opponent so bad for so long that they just don't want to play you for a decade. That's how you do your rivals. That's what Texas did to A&M.
So now you got denied.
Hey, super denied. And you know what? Now I have a real reason to hate them. I didn't like them before. I hate them now. Hope they lose every game, but I hope Bussy goes off.
But let's get back on track. Let's talk about the 305 team.
All right. So Miami has not FSU,
South Florida.
South Florida coming to town to their stadium that's not on campus. Not anywhere close to campus,
So that-
actually. It's an hour from campus. But, you know, not having your own campus,
Doesn't
not having your own
doesn't
football
stop
field,
anything.
you know.
Doesn't stop anything. Matter of fact, so you at SEC school. I found out who your team is, by the way. Oklahoma.
Oh, God.
SEC. So the fact that you guys would sit up here and say the SEC is the toughest conference in football, correct?
I mean, they've won the national
Okay,
championship.
so with that being
with a
said,
huge percentage.
is Florida not in the SEC?
Florida is in the SEC.
Okay, so South Florida just beat them last week.
And nobody's up here claiming Florida's a shit.
I'm just saying that's the SEC though. Is that SEC?
I mean,
So
nobody,
therefore-
nobody
and
looks
this
up
is-
and goes, Vanderbilt. Like,
So when Texas was in the Big 12 and the news started coming that Texas was going to move into the SEC, I have told many people this. I will never be that fan that in the third quarter and sometimes even in the second quarter for Arkansas fans starts chanting SEC because we're already losing and that's the only thing that we have to go by. So I'll never be an SEC guy. I'm a Longhorn fan who we happen to play in the
give
SEC
it time.
conference.
Give it time. He'll make an argument.
No.
come about playoff time. The SEC needs to get in. I mean, it's top tier.
No.
That's what you remember. He's gonna say something like
Well,
that.
anyhow, Miami would win by at least 4 touchdowns against them. Even though they beat Florida, but we're
Y'all
not
ain't
Florida.
beat nobody by 4 touchdowns. How you gonna beat them by 4 touchdowns?
But we're gonna beat them by 4
Y'all barely
touchdowns.
beat the
No, we beat
Catholic
them like
priest.
we beat them by almost 40 points last year.
The spread's 17 and a half.
They weren't going to base off because they beat Florida.
First off, South Florida doesn't have donors to bet on this game, nor do they care. It's probably more like a 3.5, but the betting has moved it up to 17.5.
Because of the upset last week.
I mean,
Florida was ranked in the top 25. So yeah, who the Longhorn have? Oh Lord,
UTEP. I mean, this
it's-
is.
that's a
Listen,
given.
I'm not proud of the Longhorn schedule this year. I know why they're playing some of these teams. Obviously, these teams need the money to help them out. I get it. And what we've learned in the playoff era with 12 teams is it doesn't matter who you play. Just win, and you'll get in. So why schedule some of these tough teams? But it does kind of suck. I watched the first half of the first quarter, and then I just went and did something else. College
Yeah.
football last week was pretty terrible.
Yeah, it was, except for I thought the Ole Miss game. I mean, I watched it.
Yeah, like that was, you talking Mississippi State
Yeah.
ASU game? Yeah, like
that was a good game.
But in general, like there were no, like this week, well, I'm not a A&M fan. A&M is at Notre Dame. There's another big game. It's Georgia, Tennessee. That'll be great. Miami, South Florida, which, you know,
4
whatever.
touchdowns. 4 touchdowns.
Like Ohio State's playing Ohio on Peacock.
Billy would say that Arkansas plays Ole Miss. He'd want you to mention that.
Arkansas plays this week.
Ole
Yeah,
Miss.
Ole Miss.
Okay, another L. So what did I say? I said Arkansas was going to be 3-9, or what was it? 3-8. Let me look at Arkansas' schedule. I was really hoping Arkansas State was going to beat them. So let's see. That's a loss versus Ole Miss. Memphis is terrible.
Okay, wait a minute.
I'm just kidding. We have a dude here who's a Memphis fan. All right.
Before we come to town this week.
All right.
It's on.
Loss. Who knows? Loss against Notre Dame. Loss against Tennessee. Loss against A&M. Loss against Auburn. Loss against Mississippi State. LSU, that's a loss. Texas, that's a loss. Missouri. Y'all might have won your only games. Billy. Might just want to go ahead and stay on yeah, Prevo. I see you with the eyes on here. Yeah.
So you a Memphis
your
fan?
squad's about to lose 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 straight ball games. That's assuming they lose to Memphis, Prevo. So,
They're going to lose to Memphis. That's
by the way, Prevo caught his first touchdown pass in Arkansas last week.
And that changes once Prevo gets up there.
I don't know, man. I like you, Prevo, but I need more than a wide receiver. I just don't. They don't meet Ole Miss. I don't know about Memphis.
I don't know,
They'll
man.
be
Hey,
Memphis.
that game with Ole Miss, I think it'll be a little closer than what you think.
It don't matter if you lose. Rivalry game mentality over there. They're going to lose Notre Dame, going to lose Tennessee, going to lose to A&M, going to lose to Auburn. I really feel like Mississippi State's going to be another loss. They're going to lose to LSU, going to lose to Texas, going to lose to Missouri. And then
They do got it tough.
who do they hire?
He's already on the staff.
But John Gruden's talking about he wants to coach an SEC. Is Arkansas so far gone that, like,
Gruden would not go to Arkansas.
don't even go there? Like, you're not, like, the recruiting base around it isn't great.
No.
So I don't know if it's a coach's fault per se, but, you know, if you don't have a Texas Tech alum buying players, which Arkansas doesn't, I don't know if you can even fault the coach.
I don't think
in
Arkansas
this
alone
era of
cares
college
enough.
football. I don't know that the coach matters as much as the money.
Yeah, so
And the point they made was, okay, imagine Lamar Jackson. Every year, if he played well, he'd go hit the free agency market. If he
Exactly.
played bad, no, we're under contract, player. Like, you got to pay me.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's basically what is happening in college football. So the schools really are getting screwed.
yes, because you have no control over them.
Who really gets screwed is the smaller programs. Like the schools, college football is not developing talent anymore. They're buying
They're
talent.
buying. Yes. Yeah.
So the quality of football is going to get worse and worse over time. It's going to be super top heavy, but they're not going to be super developed. The average NFL player, I would bet, not to cut you off, 5 years from now is not going to be as great. There's going to be talents, but your average NFL player coming in is not going to be what they were 5 years ago. There's no development going on.
Right,
You're with the coach for,
because they're jumping around.
yeah.
But so at the same time, I have no problem with the kid making money. I have no problem with that. But I do. It needs to be regulated where, like, let's say you got $2 million. That's where you're going to school because that's where you got the money to go to originally. That's where you need to stay. I don't like the way that they're able to shop the market now.
I know when I sign a contract, I have to abide by a contract.
Right.
They're signing something. They got to be.
Yeah.
But the workaround to all that's going to be same thing Kawhi Leonard does. Hey, just find me a marketing gig.
Yeah.
You know, a sponsorship thing, and I don't want to do nothing for it. All right, bet. And they just pay them outside of let's say the $2 million roster cap or whatever. But what we're going to see is if college football wants to stay exactly like it was like 5 years ago, there's going to be schools that can't afford to have college football anymore. So what we're going to see is this is going to happen. Week 1 through 5 are going to suck in college football because if these bigger schools don't bring these smaller schools to their campus to play a game and give them a big payday, they will no longer exist. And it's going to, like, everybody's going to have to do it. It's going to be like a charity event weeks 1 through 5 in college football. So I don't know if there's one man that I think can fix it, and he has everybody's respect. I think it's Nick Saban. And I don't even know if he has the answer, but I would trust him to make a decision that everybody could live with.
I think the NIL is gonna end up being something that is detrimental to college football.
It already is.
If they don't stop it, I mean, I ain't saying stop it, but put some rules and regulations in there that schools have to follow and even the student athletes have to follow.
Yeah, I mean, they'll find a workaround around all that. I mean, because they were doing it. Look at SMU back in the day. And, I mean, everybody's been doing it.
Right.
They'll find a workaround. But when this first happened, I remember because, the older generation, for instance, I mean, my dad loves watching women's basketball. Okay? Like, cool. And he watches it because it reminds him, because that's how he played basketball back in the day. Like, it's just the truth. Okay? I mean, I've been to a lot of basketball games. And it's not the most fun thing in the world to watch. Dad loves it. Learned to love it myself. But when you get into I thought, so when they came out, they can make money. Dad was just beside himself. They're ruining amateur athletics. It's like, Dad, they were already getting paid. Sit down, dude, chill. Now it's just we know what they're making. But what I thought was going to happen was the NCAA was paying players, and I thought maybe 10 players nationwide were going to get paid. We were going to see them on commercials, and that would have been it. 10 max. There's not 10 faces in college football that you if they walked in here, you'd immediately know who they are.
Mm-hmm.
NCAA was like, no. We ain't paying y'all, Playboy. Y'all can do whatever, but it's y'all's problem now. You ain't taking none of our money. I've never seen a college football player on commercial.
Until now.
I saw Caleb Williams on one after he had left USC and was getting ready for the draft. I remember that. I don't who was on one. I've never seen one. Who are you talking about?
Just watch the local news. What's the LSU quarterback name?
Local
Arch has been on a couple of commercials.
What's his name? Nussum.
Nuttenberger.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's on a one. I think it's that Gordon, that lawyer, or whatever it is.
Yeah, that's different. We're talking like State Farm.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, on a national brand. I don't know. NCAA needs to just. I'll tell y'all what I think will happen. This is just me thinking way down the road. Nobody owns college football, but they're taking venture capitalist money to buy percentages of football programs. That's a real thing that's happening. So they can inject, let's say Texas is worth $2 billion and they want to buy 10% of it. They're injecting $200 million back into that program, but now some venture capitalists own 10% of that revenue. So that's going to continue to happen over time and over time. And what's going to happen with this is, and it's a problem for the NFL if this happens. If college football ever combines and everybody, let's say you have the bottom half of college football nobody cares about, deuces. All right? And you're going to have 40 teams, 42 teams. You're only going to play each other. You don't get to decide your schedule. We decide it based on what's going to be best for ratings. And they start playing football on Sunday because they can, because they're going to have such good matchups. NFL's in trouble. Would you rather watch a great college football? Would you rather watch Miami FSU? Every week it's a rivalry game happening because you don't get to pick your schedule anymore. Somebody else is picking it based on rating. Every Saturday night is a rivalry game. Or every Sunday is a rivalry game, or their top 10 matchups going to be at noon on Sundays. Tell me the NFL ain't in trouble.
I agree they would. 'Cause I rather watch college football and then over NFL anyway.
That's happening. Like that will happen. The fact that these programs are taking venture capitalist money and they're not owning 100% of their program anymore, that will happen at some point down the road. And I don't know what happens to those other 75 college teams that don't make it in that top 40.
That's some good forward thinking, though.
That's what Paul Norton would do if he was in charge. I like Paul, man. He's working at State Bank.
Yep.
You can go see him over here in Richmond.
Over here in Richmond.
You can go say what's up to him.
Are you a Tuscaloosa native?
I am.
How long have you been an LE fan? So I heard you was a very big one. I'm just curious.
It definitely didn't occur until after 1990 because I graduated from PG in 90.
I got a building named after his mom over there.
At LE?
No.
All right, man, we done gone too long. Tune in tonight, PG versus Dangerfield. Tomorrow night, Texas High versus Midlothian Heritage, I believe. Miami, what time do y'all play Saturday?
3:30.
3:30. So a 4:30 ball game Eastern time, 3:30 Central. I'm going to watch that one. And then Georgia, Tennessee, and then Arkansas plays Ole Miss. Good luck. See y'all next week.